and welcome back to my channel. I'm Adya, a dentist from India, and I'm currently pursuing my Masters in Public Health in Australia. It's been only 3 months since I came here. I came in Feb 2024. So ever since I moved here and I posted my first vlog, I've been bombarded with questions on how I got into this course, what are the essentials I packed, what are the requirements, etc, etc, etc. So I finally decided to make this entire video. So the first part of the video is going to be all the essentials and the requirements and the things that you need to carry as an international student. So the last part of this video is going to concentrate on my particular course, how I applied, how I got in, all that kind of information. I'm going to leave the timestamps in the description so that you can go to that particular portion and view the video. So let's get started immediately. I'm going to first take this time to thank all my friends who are in Australia who helped me out. Without them, I wouldn't have been able to survive the first few weeks. Okay, first up is the basic essentials. I want to start off by saying that for each country, the basic necessities vary. There might definitely be some changes. So I urge you to actually go and search about this in Google for the particular country that you're going to. And if you're going to Australia, then that's great. This video will cover most of it, but I still urge you to do your own research. Don't just rely on this video. Okay, first thing is basic essentials, mostly your passport, your visa copy, information of enrollment, your offer letter, everything. I took it as a printed out form. All my transcripts, like other documents, academic documents specifically, that are from my undergraduate, all those, I have a copy of those. The original is back home, like I didn't bring it here. It's advised not to bring any of your original except your passport and your visa over here. I also took a couple of passport size pictures because apparently all that is pretty expensive in whichever country apart from India, so have some as a soft copy as well. Coming to the cash part, it was advised by a lot of people not to carry a lot of cash because over here a lot of things you would just end up using your card, like your e-wallets and stuff like that. So basically cash wouldn't be that much of a use over here, but you can definitely bring in cash because it will help you survive in the first week. And also in certain places in the country, especially in Australia, there's a credit card surge. Sometimes it'll be just like a few cents, but if you're purchasing something big, a couple of dollars might go off, so that time you can provide cash. The amount of cash maximum that you can carry in your luggage is around 2000 AUD. That's how much people suggest. Do not carry more than that. And also you can bring in like a forex card because this will help you figure out things like in the first week, because you'll be opening your bank account only after coming over here. The airport to accommodation travel, if you're staying in a student accommodation, make sure to check with your accommodation facility if they're providing any free airport pickups or something like that. Most universities do have a free airport pickup. Like my university had one, but I was reaching a little bit later. I think they were functioning from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. but my flight landed a little bit after 8 p.m. so I couldn't avail the services, but they gave me like a free voucher, like $100 voucher, which I can use as a part of my cab travel from the airport to the accommodations. Okay, the most exciting part for me at least is about food. So in Australia there is so many restrictions for food. I cannot begin to talk about it. There's quite a bit of restrictions. It's not like other countries where you can just take whatever you want. So over here you're not supposed to take any homemade powders with loose coverings. Like you just can't put everything in a box and like pack it and bring it. Everything needs to be commercially packed. This is how the packaging has to be. There needs to be an ingredient list in the back and it needs to be sealed properly. I'm also going to link a website, the Australian Border Force website. This is the website that I went through. Like it has a whole list of the things that you can bring and you cannot bring, and even if you have to bring, what are the conditions, etc, etc. So I urge you to go through this website because I did this. I solely completely went through each of it before I packed everything. So the next part is I personally bought like one plate, one glass. It was all the stainless steel ones that you probably don't get here because everything over here is mostly ceramic, porcelain or glass. So I bought like the metal related stuff, like a couple of spoons, forks and all that basic necessities. I got them, but I didn't get like these big equipments like a rice cooker or like a kettle because I was told that it's actually in the same price range over here in a place called Kmart. So kettle and everything, you can just go through their website beforehand, and there's also multiple stores. But I basically just got like a one pan, one cooker, large vessel, because those things actually cost you a lot over here, like the good quality ones. So it's better to get all that from wherever you're coming from. One more important thing is you can't take the flight from the food into Australia. All that will actually be mentioned in the flight as well. Especially for Australia, there's something called as a declaration form that they would give it to you, you land, and in that declaration declaration form, they would have all the things that you're not supposed to bring to Australia under like restrictions mostly. And if you have any of those items, this includes like medicines, food products, you have to declare it beforehand. Do not lie in this declaration form. Please be honest and just tick it. What they do is after immigration, they will take you to the biosecurity lane if you have ticked some of this, and they'll just tell you to open your suitcase and show whatever they just said. Okay, fine, you can go. That's all. It's a very simple procedure, but if you lie, it's actually a serious offense. So for each person, I feel like the priorities of things varies. Like I mainly focused on clothes, skincare, body care, and like room decor things. That was what I majority packed because that's what's important to me, because I knew that food and everything, there's so many Indian stores over here, there's Asian markets, this place has everything that you require. There's nothing that you really need to bring from India apart from like the pans and other things that I told you that are actually expensive. But the food part and everything, it's just better to get over here, and they do have some of the actual Indian brands as well, so it's pretty good. There's just a lot of supermarkets that you can purchase all this from. So I did not focus mainly on food. I focused on the things that are rather more expensive over here and I would like, you know, not buy from here. So coming to clothes, I think I took about 5 kgs of clothes and I vacuum packed all of those. I'm going to be linking the vacuum packs in the description below so you can check that out. And like order that, the vacuum packs were actually very useful in terms of creating space that I could fit more things inside. It also comes with a pump, so it's like super user friendly. I only got some basics the first time I came. Like I got like 2 pairs of jeans, some t-shirts, like some home clothes that I was repeating over and over again, and like a couple of Indian clothes. The rest of the clothes were sent to me by courier from India via India Post. You can check their website for the price range and for how many kgs that can be sent, everything in the website. If you are from India or like you're from any other country and you have like a traditional clothes, make sure to bring it because there's quite a lot of festivals and events that keep happening, and it's just nice to have like a nice dress to wear for the event, completely depending on the country that you're going to. Because I know that Australia was having summer when I came here, I packed mostly only summer clothes and I didn't really pack that many jackets or anything. All the jackets came to me later in the courier, but I just packed some essentials that would help me survive the heat. Coming to skincare, makeup, body care, I personally had like a whole huge stash in India, so I brought most of it. I got like new sealed packs of everything like shampoo, conditioner, face wash, just all the essentials, all my makeup, all my skincare, because I didn't really want to spend on that over here and I already had those products. I have products that will probably last me for 6 months to 1 year depending on my usage. If you are very specific on certain brands and certain things, then I would recommend you to get all of that from India and come. Now to the room essentials. The first main thing that I got for my room was bed sheets and pillow covers. You might have to purchase like pillows and stuff later, but you can like survive for a couple of days without it. So some other things that I got for my room were the international plug points, because the plug point over here is completely different, so you would need that adapter thing. At least charging 2 devices, like having 2 adapters is pretty useful. So something else that I would say as an essential is getting a laptop. Everything over here is digital and you have to submit all your assignment, work on all your assignments in a laptop. Yes, there are multiple computers available in libraries and stuff, but having your own laptop is actually so much better. Get a proper working laptop. You don't need a new one, but just get a proper functioning laptop. So coming to another very important topic is how to acquire an accommodation. I had to talk to a lot of people before I decided on an accommodation, and I started doing my research like 8 months before I came here, so I had enough time to segregate and, you know, think it through and then decide. But a lot of people here suggested I chose a student accommodation because it's more, you know, more user friendly, more hassle free, especially when you're coming to a new country and you don't know anyone here, like you don't have a relative's house to stay. There are private rental homes as well. Student accommodations start from $200 to $700 per week. This completely depends on the area, on the type of room that you're choosing, and completely depends on that. If you're looking to join a student accommodation, I went via this website called Amber Student. I'll leave the link in the description. Actually super user friendly. This is not sponsored in any way, by the way. Just check if you're university provides in accommodation. It's usually way more expensive than the student accommodations or the private rental places. But yeah, if you have the budget for it, it's a great spot to stay. I've heard that a lot of people have fun because you get the whole, you know, vibe of the whole campus life and all that stuff. So yeah, like if you have the budget for it, you can go for it. Just make sure to secure it earlier. I think it fills up pretty quickly. If you want to take up like a private room, there are some rental websites as well. There's one called UQ Rental, there's Hive Rental. So the websites like this as well, you can access to book your private room, and they actually work out to be a lot cheaper. They are usually not in like the prime locations, and you might have to travel quite a bit. That could be a downside. Also, this is mostly relevant only to Brisbane. Could vary a little bit, like $100 plus or minus in like Melbourne, Sydney. It would be higher in Melbourne and Sydney, a little lower in Perth and Canberra and cities like that. Just do like extra research. Okay, so once you come here, the first main thing that you have to do is get your Go card. Go, basically the transport card that you can use to travel the subway, buses. Basically the bus connects almost all the universities over here, at least in Brisbane, and it's pretty user friendly, quite accurate, and the frequency is pretty good. You can use Google Maps and also this app called TransLink to check the timings of the buses. Your Go card, you have to go to a convenience store, preferably 7-Eleven. You have to go into the TransLink website and you have to put in your card details. You can also put in your student details, which gives you a 50% concession on all your rides. And also you can top up these cards in the convenience store. In the bus stations, there are like these machines that you can top up using cash, and also online you can put in your card number and all that, and you can just top it up whenever you want. Coming to bank accounts, you can as usual come here and open the bank account. Please do your research back home on what are the banks that are available. Sometimes they might give you an appointment, sometimes they might say first come first serve basis, so you have to work based on that. For like the famous banks that are mostly crowded, and if you're like coming exactly during the time of, you know, the next intake, then that would be super crowded. So like if you can come a little bit earlier, that would be better, or like 1 week later if you open a bank account, the crowd will probably be less. But if you're willing to wait in the queue and get your bank account, that's also completely fine. So some of the places that you can shop here in terms of groceries is you have standard supermarkets like Woolworth, Coles, Aldi's, and one thing that I need to mention is these supermarkets are actually kind of expensive. Aldi's is comparatively cheaper than Coles and Woolworth, but the thing is each branch has a different pricing for some reason. Apparently this country doesn't follow the MRP, they have a completely different system, so each supermarket has a different price, and especially Woolies Metro is more expensive than the regular Woolies, which is Woolworth. Personally would recommend you to go to like the farmers markets. There's just go put it in Google Maps and check if there's a farmers market nearby. You actually save a lot of money. And there are also things, places like Kmart and Big W that sells like essentials, for example like home appliances or like bathroom essentials. It's like a smaller form of IKEA. Also go to IKEA, like IKEA, I think there are a couple of branches here as well for IKEA. Coming to the last part, with this it's actually done for the essentials of international students, but the last part is coming to how I got into MPH. And so like I said, I have a background in dentistry. That was my undergraduate degree, so that was enough requirement for me to apply to public health over here. And in Australia you don't really have to write an exam or anything to get into public health. I just had to submit my transcripts for this and like my degree certificate and stuff, and then I got admission. From university to university the requirements change, like the marks change. Some universities ask for like a statement of purpose, a resume, but my university specifically didn't ask for anything. They just worked with the transcript. And also a lot of universities, almost all, give you a scholarship. Some colleges send it to you automatically with your offer letter, but like my university, they sent it to me after a couple of months. I think 3 months or something like that, they sent me a scholarship. So yeah, you can look forward for that as well. So I went by an agency which is IDP, and this is again not sponsored in any way. They did a good job. They're pretty good for Australia with what are the visa documents I need to secure. They actually helped me with all the initial process of choosing a university, applying to the university, everything. So they basically did everything. I just had to collect the documents and submit. Personally wanted to make my life easier, that's why I went via an agency, but of course you can go without an agency as well. That's completely your preference. Also coming to job opportunities of public health, and if it's like a good decision and all that, this is not the right video for it. I would recommend you go through YouTube, and there's tons of videos that have like what are the job opportunities and even specified for each country. So I would highly recommend you to go through those videos, because I feel like if you do your own research is when you will actually know if this is a right decision or not. So I am in no way going to give you any advice on the job opportunity scope. Nope, that's your decision to make. So please go watch other videos on YouTube. I'll also link some in the description so that you can have a look at it and decide. Coming to the very last part in telling that I will not be taking up the dental license exam over here. So if you are looking to come here, do MPH and then give your ADC exam, I'm the wrong person to ask again. There's a couple of YouTube videos on telling you how to crack ADC, what are the requirements, preps, etc. You can also connect with people on LinkedIn. That's like a very useful factor. Please make sure to ask them questions that you probably can't Google or your university website doesn't have. Ask them questions that only like a person can answer to you, like Google can't answer you. So that's all for this video. I hope you guys found this video informative. If there's any more questions, please let me know in the comments and I would love to answer you. And if there's anybody else with any more information, you can leave it in the comment section as well. I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.